Good morning, everyone. A good Erev Shabbos. We have a beautiful message from this week's Parsha, Parshas Eikev on Bitachon. There's a very famous question that I heard years ago from one of my Rabbi, Rav Nachum Lansky Shlita, who said, what's the purpose of the Torah? The purpose of all of the Chumash, the 5 books of Moshe, is to chart the pathways and the journeys of Klal Yisrael, that eventually they're going to enter into the land of Israel itself. So he said it's rather peculiar that if you make a book whose goal is to get the Jewish people into Eretz Yisrael, so why then does the Chumash stop as the Jewish people are still on the other side of the Yarden, the Jordan River, is still in the Midbar, in the wilderness? We should reach the finish line and we should end up with Klal Yisrael being in Eretz Yisrael. Instead, it's saved until Sefer Yehoshua and Tanakh, which describes in great details the Jewish people's ascension into the land of Israel. But again, if the purpose of the Chumash is to form a nation, and that nation is going to be a unit together as one, and we're going to settle the land, and we're going to live in the land, we're going to build a base on Mikdash, so then the end of the book, the end of the story should be Klal Yisrael's entrance into Eretz Yisrael. And yet we find the majority of all of the Chumash revolves around the Jewish people living in the Midbar, living in the wilderness. What is the message of that? And he pointed out something that we see in this week's Parsha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu recaps the 40 years in the Midbar, and he explains clearly that every single thing that the Jewish people needed while they were in the wilderness was taken care of by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Their clothes never wore out, their shoes never wore out, the weather was always perfect, the Anani covered the clouds of glory were guarding them, the Be'er Miriam, the well of Miriam, was following them to give them water everywhere they went. There was the man following Min HaShamayim. And the Pasuk says the following, Ki loy ala lechem levanda yichya adam. Man does not live by bread alone. Ki al koil moitzel pi Hashem yichya adam. Rather, from everything that emanates from the mouth of Hashem, a person lives. Which means that the entire message of the 40 years of wandering in the Midbar was that the Jewish people have to come to the recognition that every single thing that's happening in their life, it's all coming from the Ribbono Shel Olam. That every little detail, every little nuance, every situation, every challenge, every bracha, every success, it's all mi'es Hashem, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Parnas is from Hashem, your clothing is from Hashem, your health is from Hashem, your marriage is from Hashem, your children are from Hashem, your blessings are from Hashem. Everything in one's life is all coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is the message that Moshe Rabbeinu is charging the Jewish people with as he's holding by the last days of his life. And that is, don't forget, you're going to go into Eretz Yisrael shortly. I'm going to leave you, I'll be left here to die in the wilderness. And you are going to go as a nation strong and confident after your 40 years of wandering the desert. And take this along with you. That loi ala lechem levada yichya adam, that you are not living only on the bread that you've been eating these 40 years. Ki al kol moitzi pi Hashem yichya adam, but rather everything that you are living with, all of your life, everything that is a part of who you are, it's all coming al pi Hashem, from the mouth and the directive and the wishes and the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A Jew who lives like that, they begin to look at everything in their life, me'es Hashem, it's coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Amunah and the Bitachon that such a person will reach and they will achieve is enormous, because whatever is going on in their life, they will not fail to see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did this, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu that, and Hashem did this, and Hashem did that, and Hashem did everything that's happening to us. May we be Zeicha Im Yirtzeh Hashem to live the life of a Midbar Dikayid, of one of the Jews that was in the wilderness, where they recognized and they saw that it wasn't only the bread that they were getting, it was not only Parnasa, not only their health, not only their marriage, not only their children, not only their success, not only the goodness, rather everything all together is al pi Hashem, is coming directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos filled with Emunah and Bitachon.